WSMV4 News at 6.
A tragic death in Perry County over the weekend. A 17-year-old was killed while driving to pick up his girlfriend for church. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tracy Cornett.
I'm Lauren Lowry. There's an outpouring of support for the family and friends of Everett Bates tonight. Our Brendan Tierney talked with his mom, who still can't believe this happened.
The community is coming together to remember a high school senior after a tragic crash along this stretch of road. Orange arrows mark a nearly 50-yard path leading up to this massive tree along Highway 412. You can see the scrapes and missing bark where Everett Bates hit early Sunday morning.
So crushing.
Cassie Clayton is his mom and says she's still trying to process the crash that killed the 17-year-old after he fell asleep behind the wheel. Everett went to the fair on Saturday night, but still wanted to go to church with his girlfriend.
And so he was going to pick up Bella, and they were going to church. And he didn't make it to pick her up.
Everett was a talented musician who learned to play guitar in just a couple of days. But Cassie says his real love was dirt racing and flying planes. He was going to take his first solo flight this week.
When he's doing all those extreme things, you know, he loves it and he gets a thrill from it. But when he's just driving on the highway, he never would speed. She
says he would drive along Coon Creek a couple of times every week. Hundreds of people showed up at Lewis County High School last night to honor Everett, releasing these blue balloons to honor their friend.
He touched you. You know, but I just didn't even realize how many people he touched that he didn't even know he did.
Cassie's now preparing to bury her son on Thursday before her mother's funeral on Saturday. She died from cancer just 12 days before this crash.
Now they're together.
Still trying to process this tragedy that's shocking the community. In Perry County, Brendan Tierney, WSMV4.
Breaking news, a manhunt underway in Robertson County right now. This is after a crash along I-24. According to Smoky Barn News, authorities say a car fled from police before crashing between Highway 49 and Maxey Road. That is near Pleasant View out there. Two people got out of the car and ran. One of them is in custody, but the other one is still at large. Metro Police say one of the two is a murder suspect. They have not confirmed whether that person who was caught was that suspect or is still on the run. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this situation. We will let you know as soon as we get more information.
2 8th graders are now charged with texting threatening messages. Both of them are 13. They go to Meigs Middle. Police say one texted a photo of a shotgun to students on Sunday. It read, "Perfect for school shooters." A second sent a photo of a Glock handgun and threatened to shoot up another student's school and home. Both students face false reporting charges tonight.
A handgun fell out of a car Friday outside of a Wilson County school. It happened at Gladeville Elementary on Stewart's Ferry Pike. The gun landed in the middle of the road near a crossing guard. The crossing guard kicked the gun to the side of the road and told the school resource officer. Officials say no students, teachers, or staff were in any danger. Authorities are investigating what happened.
Humphreys County Schools now has a new bag policy. That's after a gun was found during a football game Friday night. Officers say a student brought an airsoft pistol and threatened to shoot players after the game. The district's new bag policy is for all athletic events. It only allows clear bags and small clutch bags. Community members believe these changes are needed now more than ever.
There's just too much going on, and something's got to be done. I'm all for the new policies that they've got going on at the ball games or even at school. I mean, it's bad because it's going on in schools too.
Authorities have not revealed a motive or said what charges the student faces.
Rutherford County Schools is adding weapons detection systems. They're similar to the ones installed this year at public high schools across Nashville. District officials say these will be placed in all elementary, middle, and high schools across Rutherford County. They will also be used at some sporting events like football. Staff will start training next week, and then the technology will be rolled out immediately.
Police gave the all clear at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. There was a false call today for an active shooter. Police say they got a call about a man armed with a gun, possibly firing shots at the library. But investigators say there's no evidence of an active threat or that a shooting happened. They're trying to figure out, where did that call even come from?
There also appeared to be a false active shooter call today at the University of Arkansas. Fayetteville police were called to the library as well on that campus. They said they found no evidence of gunshots or any victims. Of course, this comes after last week's false calls of active shooters at both UT Chattanooga and Villanova University in Pennsylvania. All right, around here, a gorgeous start to the work week. Wow, we have seen our coolest weather in months today.
Didn't it feel incredible when you woke
nice.
up? It's going to last through the rest of the week. Aren't we lucky? We have our entire First Alert weather team that's been tracking this for us and showing us the changes, getting us prepared for them. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer is with us to tell us more of the good news.
That's right. We have definitely seen a nice transition here to temperatures and even to humidity that is really nice for this time of year. You can see it there. We've got just that humidity remaining on the lower side for several days to come. Looking pretty good for us, no doubt about that. Well, we look outside and we're at 79 degrees right now. And as we go through the rest of the week, we're going to see these morning lows just absolutely delightful. We'll be at 58 degrees coming up on Tuesday. And then this is going to be our coolest morning at 55. Those morning lows in some spots could even dip to the 40s, and then upper 50s on Thursday and Friday, and then we start to make our way all the way up to the 60s for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But still, that's pretty nice considering where we were with those morning lows that were in the 70s. Now for tomorrow, our afternoon high, 81 degrees in Nashville, 78 in Gallatin, 79 degrees in Clarksville, and 76 degrees over in Shelbyville. Grilling forecast for tonight, man, you just couldn't ask for much better weather. We're talking 77 degrees at 7, 74 right around 8 o'clock. Things should be really nice for you. And then we make our way into the morning coming up. The bus stop forecast, 61 degrees starts us off there with a partly sunny sky. Now coming up, we'll take a look at what you can expect for the rest of the week with our First Alert forecast.
Sounds good, Lisa. Thank you. A heroic dad is in the hospital after rescuing his family from a fire in Spring Hill. Our Dryden Quigley tells us the family and their neighbors were asleep when this fire started.
One neighbor woke up around 4 this morning and looked out her window to see orange. That's when she says she realized the house next to her was on fire and the family of 4 that lived there was standing in their yard. At first, Mary Elizabeth Eisler thought her neighbor was having a bonfire.
But I was like, why is he having one at 4 a.m.? I thought maybe it was like someone's headlights or something, but I never thought it would be like a house fire.
The family said they woke up to a popping sound coming from their back deck and realized their house was on fire. They rushed to get out, grabbing their 2 kids, but somehow in the smoke, their son got lost. Once the mom and daughter were out, the dad ran back into the burning house to get him, both getting serious burns.
The husband was crouched over his dog, and it looked like he was wearing like a black shirt, but it was just, he was shirtless. It was just like soot from the fire.
When Spring Hill firefighters got there, they said the house was already 60% burned.
I believe that's what did alert them, whether it was the smell of the smoke and then the smoke alarms going off. But it was very miraculous that they even made it out.
The entire family is being treated in the hospital, the dad with the most serious injuries. But all are expected to recover. Right now, they think the fire was an accident.
Literally everything they own is gone, which is very sad.
Those neighbors are watching their 2 dogs that made it out okay. They said they're collecting food, clothing, and other items while the family's in the hospital, and they said all of their thoughts and prayers are with them. In Spring Hill, Dryden Quigley, WSMV 4.
New details tonight on a deadly shooting near the Madison Police Precinct that happened today. Officers have identified a woman who was found shot in a car. Detectives say Kiana Wilson forced herself into a home on Scalf Drive and started fighting another woman. That's when the homeowner shot Wilson in the stomach. Wilson drove away, flagged down an officer outside of the precinct. She later died at the hospital. So far, no charges have been filed.
We now know the identity of the person whose leg was found in a Robertson County creek. The TBI says it belonged to 68-year-old Joseph Benton from Springfield. His leg was found on the 4th of July near the Sulphur Fork Creek. It's by the Robertson County Fairgrounds. According to Smoky Barn News, authorities haven't released any more details related to Benton's death.
Coming up, the man charged in a quadruple murder is back in court. We'll tell you about new evidence tying Austin Drummond to the scene of the crime. crime.
And still ahead, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is back in federal custody. He is fighting to not be deported again. We'll have the very latest.
Meet Julie.
Oh, it's so typical when a nice strong fall-like cold front comes on through, the rain chance just drops. And so we have a tiny sprinkle chance tonight in southwestern parts of the mid-state, a 20% shower chance, same place on Thursday, and a 20% shower chance anywhere in Middle Tennessee Sunday on into Monday. What that means is the drought will worsen. It's really inevitable. Right now it's abnormally dry in the yellow. These little pockets of orange show moderate drought, so mainly in western parts of Tennessee. And with a lack of rain, we see very high pollen levels, largely because of ragweed. Lauren?
Oh, yeah, I've been feeling it. Thank you, sir. The man charged in the quadruple homicide in West Tennessee was back in court today. A judge revoked his bond for charges he faced before the murders. Prosecutors say Drummond killed all 4 people on July 29th. He left the scene, came back, and later went to Madison. Church surveillance video on August 3rd showed Austin Drummond holding an AR-style pistol. Police later found that pistol and a handgun. Cell phone data also placed Drummond at the scene of the murders.
The city of Lewisburg is starting its search for an outside law firm to investigate allegations against the city manager. Roy Hayslip was arrested last week on several charges connected to stalking a city employee. During Friday's special meeting, city leaders passed a motion to hire an outside law firm to investigate the allegations. The city will call another special meeting to hire the firm. No date has been set for that meeting. The firm will be given 30 days to investigate.
Will the National Guard be deployed in Tennessee? Up next, which city President Trump's considering and how state lawmakers are reacting.
here.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia is back in U.S. custody after he was just released from a Tennessee jail last Friday. He was mistakenly deported to El Salvador back in March. Abrego Garcia reported to an ICE facility in Baltimore today. He returned to Maryland to be with his family as he awaits trial in Tennessee. Abrego Garcia faces human smuggling charges after a traffic stop back in 2022. His lawyers say the government is trying to punish him for challenging his wrongful deportation.
There was no need for them to take him into ICE detention. He was already on electronic monitoring from the U.S. Marshal Service and basically on house arrest. The only reason that they've chosen to take him into detention is to punish him.
The Trump administration is threatening to deport Abrego Garcia once again, this time to Uganda. His lawyers have filed a new lawsuit asking a federal judge to block it and release him.
Could President Trump send the National Guard to Memphis? He says he's expanding efforts to stop crime in major cities. In an interview Friday, conservative talk show host Todd Starnes asked the president if he would address the crime in Memphis. President Trump said he would put Memphis, quote, early on the list. FBI Director Kash Patel named Memphis the homicide capital of the country back in May. Republican State Senator Brent Taylor says he would welcome federal oversight to tackle crime in Memphis, but he says it wouldn't have to look like it does in Washington.
I think it would be having National Guardsmen do an administrative task. That could be doing intakes at the jail. It could be serving as bailiffs in the court.
While we welcome any additional help to law enforcement to help mitigate and deter crime in our city, I don't want people to think that sending federal troops to Memphis and these cities across the country are a solution to the high crime problem.
Both sides agree crime in Memphis should be a priority on the state level. They hope President Trump's comments can spark discussions on solutions.
The Trump administration won't challenge a lawsuit to end grants for colleges with large numbers of Hispanic students. The state of Tennessee sued the Department of Education in June. It argues all of its public universities serve Hispanic students, but it says none meet the requirements to be eligible for the grants. The state says the colleges are missing out on tens of millions of dollars because of this. Congress created the program in 1998 after finding Latino students were attending college at low rates, but the Justice Department says parts of the program are unconstitutional.
Greek life is temporarily suspended at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, according to our NBC affiliate there in that city. There have been reports of hazing on and off campus, as an on-campus assault as well. The suspension is expected to end September 5th. We'll let you know. 2 Tennessee gun laws were struck down today. A 3-judge panel in Gibson County said they violated the Second Amendment. One law makes it illegal to carry a gun in a public park specifically. The other one is the intent to go armed law. It charges anyone who's out and about with a gun and planning to use it. Both rulings apply across the state. Not clear if the state will appeal them.
State and local leaders are pushing back against big tech in Tennessee. Advocates are working with the NAACP to push for more transparency about how data centers are impacting the health of Tennesseans. Elon Musk announced plans earlier this summer to build a second supercomputer in Whitehaven. He already has one set up in Memphis. That's why advocates are now calling on lawmakers to create new guidelines for tech companies to keep some of these small communities safe.
Data centers are often situated in Black neighborhoods already burdened by socioeconomic disadvantages, and they contribute to rising levels of air pollution.
We are approving a new framework that demands accountability and responsibility, action from tech companies as they expand in our communities.
They're calling for stricter emission standards, community benefits agreements, long-term local investments, and health impact assessments before data centers are approved.
Sad news tonight from the Nashville Zoo. One of the giraffes has died. They say Nasha passed away last week from health problems. She was 11. The zoo said Nasha had a playful spirit and unique personality. They say she also touched the hearts of countless guests. Well, we are finally getting a break from the heat this week. It's the coolest weather we've seen in months.
All right, let's bring in First Alert Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer. It's so exciting, and this great weather is sticking around all week long. Just puts you in a good mood. You want to skip around.
That's right. Want to be outside skipping around, too. It is just so pleasant outside. We have got this taste of fall sticking around for a little while. Temperatures are about 10 degrees below average for an August day. Now, it's mainly going to be dry weather that we will will see throughout the next several days. But we are monitoring the weekend pretty closely because we have a few showers that may try to sneak in there, which we actually could use some rain, as Dan was showing us a little bit ago. So we do need this rain. But what we have out there tonight, anything that tries to make a run at us, I think a lot of that's just going to evaporate because the air is so very dry here across the midstate. We've got this northerly wind that is helping to push this cooler air in place. Look up here in Indianapolis. They're at 68 degrees. They have their jackets out for sure. 70 in St. Louis. It's 75 over in Memphis. So we do have this cooler influence across the area. We made it up to 84 today. Right now out at Nashville International at 79, 77 in Lebanon, 74 there in Hoptown, and you're at 74 degrees in Tullahoma. 78 is the latest coming in from Murfreesboro right now. Our forecast shows those temperatures falling from the 60s and into the 50s tomorrow morning. 58 degrees in Nashville, that morning low. Lawrenceburg at 59, and in Clarksville, 52. And headed into the afternoon, you'll be in the 70s here along the plateau, 81 in Nashville. And even cooler weather coming up on Wednesday morning. We will be in the 50s, and some of you may even drop down into the 40s, especially in some of those valley areas off towards the east. Out for a walk this evening. This is nice stuff. 74 degrees at 8, 71 degrees right around 9 o'clock. Really nice conditions. Our first alert forecast for the next 7 days. There is that forecast high tomorrow at 81 degrees with a partly sunny sky. Lots of sunshine coming in on Wednesday and 82. And then on Thursday, a partly cloudy day, 83 degrees into the mid 80s by Friday. All these morning lows in the 50s. And then we'll be in the 60s over the weekend. Look at that, mid 80s. Now this is where we'll get a shower chance coming in on Saturday night, and then maybe 1 or 2 raindrops there on Sunday as well as Monday, with those temperatures remaining in the 80s. Well, the Morning Point Seniors Got Talent is coming up soon. Yes, it's just like the one we have here, so it's all seniors, and it's going to be October 14th at the Franklin Theater. I MC that every year. It raises money for the Morning Point Foundation, and we need contestants out there. We're looking for seniors to audition for the show, and you have until Friday to fill out an application and send in an audition. So good luck.
Oh, I love it. Somebody snap a picture, send it to your moms and your sisters and your aunts, and spread the word, everybody. That's really exciting. It is officially game week for your Tennessee Volunteers, too. The Vols take the field for the first time this season in Atlanta. They play Syracuse Saturday at 11 a.m.
Love that. We're going to be down in Atlanta bringing you coverage before, during, and after the game. And be sure you watch Volunteer Game Day with the voice of the Vols, Mike Keith. Live pre-game coverage here on WSMV starting at 9 a.m. Well, Southwest Airlines is asking certain people to pay more when they fly. Coming up at 6:30, while the change is causing a bit of controversy tonight.
Experience Premier.
Gosh, if you drive in and around B&A, you know they're doing so much. Right now, there's a traffic alert at the airport tonight. Several lanes are going to be closed at B&A starting tonight. Crews will be working on a new rental car facility and parking garage. Okay? Single lane closures happening along Terminal Drive and B&A Park Drive at 10 o'clock tonight, and they go till 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Those same lanes will close at 8 Wednesday night and reopen at 4 in the morning. They're doing so much work over there. The last night of the closures are going to be Thursday at 10, and they'll go till Friday morning at 4. They're trying to do the overnight work so it doesn't affect travelers so much.
Millions of Americans are expected to travel for Labor Day weekend, and road construction will not be slowing you down that weekend. TDOT is halting all lane closures on interstates and state roads, which they tend to do on holidays. It all starts Friday at noon. It'll last through Tuesday morning at 6. There will still be crews out working in construction zones, we're told. So some crews will still be in operation. Keep an eye out for them. Make sure they're safe, that you're safe. Slow down. You could be fined $250 to $500 if you're caught speeding in a work zone.
Drivers will also get a break at the pump this holiday weekend. Gas prices are the lowest in 4 years. Right now, AAA says national average is $3.16 a gallon. It's a whole lot cheaper here in Tennessee. The state average is $2.77 a gallon, but gas is a nickel more across Nashville. A record number of people are expected to fly for Labor Day weekend. We'll tell you how many travelers some airlines expect ahead at 6:30.
At Designer Shoe Warehouse, we've got a shoe for every you. The styles you have to have, the brands you're obsessed with, the deals you'll brag about. For the love of shoes, get to DSW ASAP. Designer Shoe Warehouse.
Everyone. This is WSMV4 News at 6.
Changes are coming to one mid-state school after a gun was discovered at a football game. Thanks for staying with us here at 6:30. I'm Tracy Cornett.
I'm Laura Lowry. Our Jordan James shows how Humphreys County School District is changing its policies to keep everyone safe.
Changes are coming to Humphrey County schools.
It could have been tragedy.
After a student was found in possession of an airsoft pistol during Friday's football game. Cheryl Stanley's children previously attended Waverly Central High School.
What if it was something that could really hurt someone? There's little kids at these ball games. I mean, it's bad enough that we've got students, but there's little kids at these ball games too.
Authorities say the person showed the weapon and allegedly made threats to shoot players after the game. That plan was foiled after officers were tipped off by students.
Thank you to the students that spoke up as to what was going on, because had they not have, nobody would have known. And something bad could have happened. So thank God we had these students that spoke up.
The district is implementing a new bag policy for athletic events now. They're only allowing clear and clutch-sized bags. The only exception would be for medical purposes. In a statement about the change, the district said in part, quote, "These changes are being taken to help ensure the safety of our students, staff, and community." A shared hope across the county after a scare under the Friday night lights.
These kids have got to be stopped. There's just too much going on.
Now, both the school district and sheriff's office have declined to comment, only saying that it's an ongoing investigation. At this point, it's unclear what charges the student is facing. Reporting in Waverly, Jordan James, WSMV 4.
Well, we're going to see a much-needed break from the heat we have been having.
Yeah, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer is with us right now. How long do we get these cooler temperatures?
You know, we've got these temperatures for several days to come, which is going to be fantastic. But the one thing we're not going to see is much rain, and this tropical system is not going to bring us much rain either. That is going to stay well to the east of us here. As you can see right now, that's going to continue to move on out. That is Ferdinand that continues to move on by. Now, we are looking for it to have 60-mile-per-hour winds right now. The movement to the northeast at 14 miles per hour, so no impact on the U.S. Now, we're talking about those temperatures coming up. We'll take a look at the temperature changes that are going to be coming this week. That's just ahead with our First Alert forecast.
Thank you, Lisa. We also have new video of a massive house fire in Missouri we want to show you. Investigators think this was sparked by a home explosion. We know 4 people were hurt in this. 5 homes were destroyed or damaged when this happened. It happened this morning. People from all over the area said they first heard and felt that explosion. It shook their homes. One woman said it felt like a car slammed into her house. Another wondered if it was an earthquake or if a plane had crashed.
I felt it. I heard it and I felt it. But yeah, I was just laying down in my bed, and as soon as I heard it or felt it, I got up and ran over there, and I seen one house that was already crumbled.
I heard this loud noise, explosion. My house shook so bad. I literally thought a car ran into the side of my house. So I ran down the steps, looked on the side of my house. There was nothing there. And I looked over into the sky, big cloud of black smoke with debris coming down.
And of course, you think the worst when something like that happens. At least one person was seriously hurt in that fire. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused it.
Global mail carriers are suspending deliveries to the U.S. amid confusion over new import duties. Postal services in Australia, India, New Zealand, the U.K., and parts of Europe say they will stop shipping parcels to the states before the end of a trade exemption known as de minimis. Since 2016, it allowed goods worth up to $800 to enter the U.S. duty-free. Per an executive order signed by President Trump last month, goods coming in from abroad less than $800 will now be slapped with country-specific tariff rates beginning on Friday.
There's new fallout this morning over the Jeffrey Epstein case, and this comes after the Justice Department released transcripts and audio of its closed-door interview last month with Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. The family of one of Epstein's most prominent accusers now is outraged over the DOJ's decision to speak with the convicted sex trafficker who is serving a 20-year sentence. The relatives of Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide in April, say that the interview has given Maxwell a platform to rewrite history, and they called it a travesty of justice that entirely invalidates the experiences of many brave survivors. So that's a direct quote there. During the interview, Maxwell denied ever seeing President Trump engaging in anything inappropriate.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
Epstein died by suicide in prison in 2019 while he was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges during the president's first term. There's been a big push for President Trump to release more documents related to the Epstein case.
Southwest is asking some of its passengers to spend more money to fly. But why? Details on the move that's causing a bit of controversy with flyers coming up next.
People are getting ready to hit the road for the Labor Day weekend. Later, how airports across the country are preparing for the influx of travelers.
Well, we've had clouds move in with our latest temperature now at 79 degrees. We reached 84 this afternoon. Forecast highs moving through the rest of the week. How about this? They are going to stay much cooler than average for this time of year. 82 on Wednesday, 83 on Thursday. We will make it up to the mid-80s over the weekend, but still not too bad. Humidity staying in check as well. This evening is going to be so nice. We do have the clouds across the area, but these temperatures and the humidity remaining quite low. And for tomorrow morning, getting up early, just absolutely wonderful. 5 o'clock, 59, in the 50s at 6 and 7 o'clock. Lots of sunshine in this forecast. Now we have a little bit of rain. I'll show you when to expect that just ahead.
Lisa Spencer, thank you. On this day in history, President Woodrow Wilson signed the National Park Service Organic Act into law in 1916. It established the National Park Service. It manages and protects the nation's natural and historic landmarks. Tennessee is home to 13 national parks, including the Great Smoky Mountains, along with 31 national historic landmarks.
Flights are back up and running in Chattanooga after a bomb threat was reported Sunday night. It was called in last night, forced the airport to shut down. Some passengers on a flight from Dallas-Fort Worth say they were on that tarmac for nearly 2 hours before they were let off the plane. Authorities searched the terminal and say that the airport says there was no indication of an active threat.
Southwest is making changes related to plus-sized passengers. Right now, their rules allow you to buy an extra seat ahead of time, and then you get refunded later. Or you can request an extra seat at no charge at the airport. Well, the rule made Southwest extremely popular for plus-sized passengers. But this new rule is that a second seat will not be refundable. So it's non-refundable unless the flight has at least one open seat on it and both seats are purchased within the same fare class, which, as you know, now there's a couple of extras. The policy goes into effect at the end of January.
Okay, on the way in sports, we'll tell you about a couple of high school football teams working together to make an impact off the field. Plus, the Tennessee Titans released a handful of players today. We'll talk about that when we come back.
When you first saw the metallic sneakers, all you could hear was, "Where'd you get those shoes? Where'd you get those shoes? Where'd you get those shoes?" And the question was no longer, can you pull them off? It was, how can you not? Because the sneakers don't make you. You make the sneakers. DSW, a shoe for every you. Where'd you get those shoes?
Quote today:
From your official station of the Vols, this is your 30 Days, 30 Vols. Sponsored by Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee and Rackley Roofing.
Well, he's an instinctive safety who made an impact mostly on special teams. As a true freshman, Edris Farouk is likely to play a much larger role in that UT secondary in 2025. He played in all 13 games last season with no starts, logging 13 tackles, though, including 8 solo and 1 tackle for loss. Here's our 30 Days, 30 Vols.
Ooh, I wrote down big expectations. This must be you we're talking about here,
Yes,
Idris.
sir.
Yeah. Do you have big expectations this season?
Yes, sir.
Is this going to be a big year for you?
It's a big year, very big year.
Big year for the DBs.
Yes, sir. Stepping up in the role.
I just told you I wasn't going to talk football, but with you, I'm going to, because the DBs could be pretty special again this year, right?
Right.
What are your thoughts?
DBs, we looking really good this year. I can see we're coming together as a team. Like, we have been bonding outside of football and all of that, so I feel like that's going to translate over to the field.
Good. Tell me about your family.
So I have a big family, all from DC, and my father had, 11 to 12 brothers?
Whew.
Yeah. And
Brothers?
sister. Yeah. And so I have a lot of cousins that we all grew up together at my grandmother's house. And
Like dozens of cousins, I guess.
dozens, like a lot. Like everybody, every weekend we'll pop up at my grandmother's house and have a good time and stuff like that.
What's the favorite thing, best thing off the field?
Best thing off the field, I'll say I just moved into a house, so just having the space to be able to like realize how the real world works, like with taxes and all of that. So just being able to deal with the real world things and football at the same time is just like I'm starting to like realize that life is it's a good thing. Like,
wow,
yeah.
You're really growing up like in front of your own eyes, aren't you?
Yeah, it's crazy. What's up, Vol fans? It's Idris Farouk, and it's 5 days left until it's football time in Tennessee.
Tonight, the 10th largest Powerball jackpot is up for grabs, a $750 million grand prize. And over the weekend, some people matched 5 of the numbers. They won $1 million. They did not get the 6th red Powerball number, though. That would give them the grand prize. So if you end up winning the jackpot, you can take an annual payment over 29 years or opt for that lump sum. That would be around $340 million before taxes. The odds of winning the jackpot are 1 in 292 million.
Americans spend more than $100 billion on lottery tickets every single year. Isn't that something? According to a Motley Fool study, half of Americans play the lottery every single year, and they spend about $103 billion in total. Some financial experts believe the lottery is essentially lighting money on fire.
I'm not anti-lottery in that perspective, but I did not realize that the magnitude was that high. If you just put that in a savings account or money market account today that generated 5% return, that's a huge amount of money. That'd be $5 billion of interest a year.
Yeah, and he says if you swapped out a Powerball ticket and scratch-off ticket each month, which is about $25, and put in a low-cost fund with a market return of 10%, after 10 years, you'd have $5,100. How about that?
The weather might seem calm here compared to the rest of the country where they are feeling the extreme heat. So let's go to multiple states. We're talking heat, fires, even a dust storm hit the west. Firefighters in Oregon have been battling more than 20,000 acres of raging fires with 0% containment. The heat and bone-dry conditions are also fueling fires in California and forcing evacuations in the heart of wine country, Napa Valley.
A lot of that heavier brush has been replaced by lighter fuels like grass, which are easier to control.
Oh my God! Something just picked up and blew into our RV! Oh my God!
Oh, that sounds scary. Cleanup continues after Hurricane Erin in the East Coast, where the storm damaged some beaches, even though it never made landfall in the United States.
You know, we are 1 week out from Labor Day, which means travel is going to pick up late this week, and a record number of people are expected to just go somewhere out of town. United Airlines says they expect more than 3 million passengers over the weekend. The American Airlines is expecting nearly 4 million. Airports across the country are getting ready.
We do anticipate that this Labor Day is busy like we've seen in years past. The most searched cities are New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, even Las Vegas tops the list.
Domestic round-trip flight costs are down 6% compared to last year. Hotel rates are down 11% for the end of summer travel.
This week, we're going to see a sneak peek of fall-like temperatures across the mid-state.
Isn't it nice? First Alert Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer's with us. It starts to feel like football weather, I think. You know,
that's right.
Morning.
Yes, I totally agree. And we're going to see several days of this kind of weather. These morning lows, I love them, in the 50s. So nice. We've got a dry week ahead for most everybody. Cooler than average temperatures stay with us. The weekend gives us our best chance of rain, but it is a low chance that we're looking at. The clouds have been sliding in here as we've gone throughout the day today, but we think most of the rain is going to drop southward. That's where the rain is located now, in Arkansas, and just not seeing a lot of it creeping our way. You can see it here on our First Alert regional radar. And our air is so dry that really anything that comes in will likely evaporate it before it makes its way all the way here into Middle Tennessee. The one thing we will, though, experience is the cooler air across the mid-state. We go right on through morning tomorrow. 58 degrees to start us off at 6:30 in Nashville, 52 there in Cookeville, as well as over in Clarksville. And then headed into the afternoon, we'll see 81 degrees for that high. And a really cool morning coming up on Wednesday. We will be in the 50s, 52 in Gallatin and 50 degrees over in McMinnville, and in the low 80s in Nashville during the afternoon, 79 degrees in Waverly and 76 degrees coming up for McMinnville. For the rest of this evening, things are pretty quiet out there. 77 around 7 o'clock. We'll be at 67 degrees around 11. Still some clouds around. You saw them streaming in there on that satellite image. For tomorrow morning, getting out by the school bus at the stop, the 58 degrees. We'll have 72 at recess. What a day to be on the playground. Lunchtime 77, and on that way home right around 81 degrees. Our First Alert forecast for the next 7 days. This is a great week forecast. I mean, compared to all those 90s we talked about and that high humidity, we're going to see 81 tomorrow, 82 on Wednesday, 83 degrees coming up on Thursday. Now, there'll be some clouds around on Thursday, but we're still not looking for any showers there. On Friday, partly cloudy and 85, with these morning lows remaining in the 50s. And then for the weekend, mid-80s with morning lows dipping, or I should say, rising a little bit into the 60s, but still pretty pleasant for this time of year. There is a slight chance of a shower coming in late Saturday, continuing through Sunday, and also Monday of next week.
All right, the NFL's deadline for rosters to be trimmed from 90 to 53 is 3 p.m. tomorrow. Today, the Tennessee Titans started informing some of their players about the news. In fact, they announced 16 of their cuts so far. One is receiver Jaquan Jackson. Jackson was a 6th-round pick out of Tulane a year ago. He had issues as a punt returner last season and could not move up the depth chart. The Titans also cut 6 defensive backs, including Julius Wood and Josh Bledsoe. Again, 16 down, 21 to go by tomorrow.
It's a tough moment to tell someone that they're not going to be able to realize a dream of theirs, at least here. You know, you hope they wish them the best and hope they get picked up. And not the most fun, but I just told all the guys, you know, repeatedly over really the last 48 hours just how much I appreciate the effort, the work that they put in, and how they've helped our team get better.
Worth remembering, the Titans also have the first pick on the waiver wire, so tomorrow's 53-man roster may not necessarily be the final decision. Vols fans, it's game week. Saturday is the season opener against Syracuse down in Atlanta. Right now, Tennessee is a 2-touchdown favorite, but it's the first game, right? Anything can happen.
You know, there's knowns and unknowns of what you're seeing on the other side of the football, their ability to communicate and all 11 play as one. Being able to settle into the ball game, do your job at a really high level are all things that are going to be really important.
Josh Heupel said today that he expects Boo Carter to play on Saturday. Down in the borough, the guys at Middle Tennessee open up Saturday night against Austin Peay. First time since 2010 these two teams will face off. It's year 2 for Derek Mason with the Blue Raiders, and he says, well, he's noticing some evolution within the role.
I think how we've handled our guys this year, you know, it feels different for them. It's more player-led than coach-led. Like right now, and I think for me that part feels good.
Yeah, it helps when you got a senior quarterback returning into the mix too, like Nick Vattiato. Okay, when Pearl Cone and CPA face off on Friday night, they want it to be about more than football. They're calling it a high school connect night. In conjunction with the Titans, they aim to bring public and private school communities together. These are two programs with very strong leaders, those two guys who help set the tone for their kids.
And kids got to see other kids in different environments They're just like you. The world's big in Nashville. That's my philosophy. Don't be afraid to step outside your norm and grow.
Whether you win or lose the game, that's not really about what life is. Life is about relationships, and again, these boys becoming future leaders and great husbands and fathers one day, and I think through that, Nashville gets better.
Now, the two teams spent part of this past weekend working a shift together at the Second Harvest Food Bank. They said they hope this first initiative inspires other public and private schools collaboration. We'll be right back.
attention that it deserves.
The pastor who allowed students to use his church after the Covenant School shooting is now retiring. Pastor Walt Lever stepping down from Brentwood Hills Church of Christ. Students and staff used the church as a temporary school after the shooting in March 2023. The Covenant School, all the families, the parents, the staff, they say they've just been forever grateful to Lever and the congregation. And a couple years ago, I spoke with a parent from Covenant about this, and they said that the people at that church had been more than kind, that they had shown Jesus to their families.
What a legacy he leaves behind. Well, in just a few minutes, our Lisa Spencer will be live from the WSMV4 streaming desk.
Lisa, what you working on tonight?
Well, of course, we've got to talk about this fall-like weather and how long it's going to stick around. And that brings about the question, will it make it all the way through the Labor Day holiday? We've got a sneak peek at what you can expect coming up because it's just around the corner. And, you know, we haven't had a lot of rains. We've got some drought conditions. We'll take a look at where our drought situation is right now and our chances of rain moving forward. That's all coming up on Weather Plus. We start right at 7 o'clock on WSMV4 streaming channel.
That's right. Hopefully you can find it easily, folks at home. Thank you for watching us. And hey, anytime we can talk weather like we've experienced, at least today, we're all in.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because it's like the beginning of football weather. We can already feel the change.
I don't care if it's fake fall or whatever they say. We're going to take it while it lasts, right?
Yeah, fake fall,
bring it on.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll